welcome to another amazing episode of Uncommon Conversations. I'm your host, Jaja Hubbard, and I am super duper excited because I have a really great friend with me today on the show. Listen, when I tell you this young man is amazing, not only is he a Highland Park native, but he is a comedian. He kept us laughing and kept our spirits all the way up during the pandemic. Not only is he a comedian, but he's an actor. He has a new series that he's going to be talking about today. And this young man has hosted with me for multiple years regarding the Juneteenth Jubilee. Listen, I don't want y'all to miss out on this wonderful new episode with my wonderful guest, Mr. Darren Powers. Darren Powers in the building. You here?
Yes. We're good, Jaja.
What's happening, D Hobbs? How are you doing today?
Well, I'm blessed. How about yourself?
Listen, I am wonderful. I'm super duper grateful that you were able to make it on the show today. I know you are super busy and booked and blessed and all that good stuff.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure being on your show.
Absolutely. Now I want to jump right into it, D Hobbs. You are a Highland Park native, and shout out to all the HP families out there. But tell me, what was it like growing up in Highland Park and allowing you to become the man that you are today? How was that influential growing up in HP?
Well, growing up in Highland Park, it was actually no different than growing up in the neighborhood, to be perfectly honest with you. I realized till I got older how fortunate I was when my parents kept me spoiled. And thinking I'm growing up in poverty, but actually I'm getting all the blessings that I need growing up in a household. So it was actually pretty good growing up in Highland Park.
Wow, that's amazing. And growing up in Highland Park, and you are now a comedian and you act and you have your podcast now, and you also are a music artist. Now, growing up in Highland Park, you actually have grown up in a historical community. Can you tell me about some of the influences and the people in Highland Park that you looked up to that helped you be who you are today?
Absolutely. Coco the comedian is definitely one of my top picks from Highland Park. Jackie Wilson, Auntie from Family Matters, I forgot her name. Hopkins, I believe is her name. And star Stephen Smith as well. They all from Highland Park. Gave me motivation to come back to my city as well.
That's amazing, D Hobbs. Now, you are also a podcast host and a radio host, and you were hosting and have had years in the game. And your radio podcast was nominated for an award. Tell me all about, your podcast, how that got started, and what was it like being nominated for an award?
Well, it all started with my high school friends, Two Piece and a Biscuit. Shout out to DJ Dream Money. And I started with them. Within 6 months, we got nominated, won our first Dave Choice Award for Podcast of the Year. Then we went to a second year with my co-host AV. We was nominated for 2020 for Best Podcast, but we didn't win, unfortunately. But it was a blessing to still be nominated.
Yeah. Now, doing the Two Piece and a Biscuit show, how was that working with other people and pursuing that dream of being, a radio host? And because that kind of works together with comedy and hosting and all that great stuff.
Yeah, it goes hand in hand. To be perfectly honest with you, if it wasn't for Two Piece and a Biscuit, I wouldn't be in the predicament I am now. I didn't think that I could take this career further than I wanted it to take it, but God works in mysterious ways.
He definitely works in mysterious ways. Now, growing up in Highland Park and having that family structure, what was it like growing up in your household and them pushing you to pursue your dreams where you are right now?
Oh, my parents are my biggest supporters. I call them the Rev and the First Lady. They're my biggest supporters. No matter what material I put out, whether it's a comedy sketch or music, if I feel like it's going to be a little bit too raunchy, I got to get the clearance from Rev first before I put it out. Very, very close, tight knit. I got 6 other siblings who always acted like my parents as well, so they kept me under, a good hold.
Now, what was that like? Because I got 5 sisters and 3 brothers myself, and I'm the oldest. Now, where do you fit in that realm of all of the children?
Oh, I'm the youngest, so they feel like I got away with a lot more stuff.
So, and I'm sure you got on their nerves. What was that like being the baby boy and having all of the siblings and seeing their trial and error and their successes? What were some of the things that you learned from them that you are applying to yourself?
to stay focused no matter what. You got family, and never give up on your dreams. If someone tell you you can't do it, prove them wrong and show them that you can.
Absolutely. Now, D Hobbs, you doing podcasting, you're a radio host. Now, where did comedy come into the play? Like, because you definitely keep me laughing every time we host an event together, and I'm always watching your social media platforms, and you always have something funny. Where did comedy come into play?
I always been just a natural silly person. I find the humor in everything. Even unfortunately in sad situations, I can find some type of humor to make you stop crying and laughing at that moment. I just enjoy the love to see people laugh.
That's beautiful. And not only do you enjoy loving to see people laugh, but you also enjoy just providing them with content. And you have a new TV series that's getting ready to come out. Tell us all about your new TV series.
Yes, it's a brand new TV series called Indictive. The director is Nay Renee, and the actual writer is named Promise Kept. Both black women producing this series. I'm playing one of the star characters, Lance, and I think y'all could be very impressed with my character.
Okay, so you are a part of a TV series, and it's written by two beautiful queens. Okay, I heard that part. And you're one of the leading actors of the series. Now tell us about the character Lance that you're playing.
Um, Lance is a single father. He runs a dispensary in Detroit, a legal dispensary. Let me put that out there first. And he's kind of like the mid person amongst all the rest of the cast. So he has a special link with each one of them individually.
Wow, that is amazing. And so, when pursuing your acting, do you find yourself having to tap into character, or do you just feel like it just kind of just springs up and you just nail the role? How did that come about?
Honestly, I just nailed it. With character Lance, I feel more relatable to. I feel like I could actually be Lance. So it became natural when I went to rehearsing and the casting call. And even the director was like, oh, yeah, you fit that part good.
Wow. Now, for the comedy and acting, what other things do you have coming up that you want our viewers to make sure that we support you? And what do you have coming up?
Okay, well, I just released some new music. I released two new songs. One is called D Girl featuring Ari Lane, and another one is called Satisfy. So I just released them on all music platforms, so make sure you check that out. And most of them getting back to more doing events around the city, doing concerts, as well as hosting with other artists.
That's awesome. Now, D Hobbs, tell us about your music career because you are a music artist. This is not your first time putting music out there. Tell us, how did that come about with, even though and all of this is entertainment. So you're staying in the realm of what you're good and great at. But tell me, how do you go from being a host, a comedian, and now you dropping music?
Honestly, just like the name of my album, Split Personality, each one of those aspects have different personalities to it. So one minute I could be in full hosting mode, I could be in full comedy mode, I can be in full acting mode, I can be in full rapping mode. So it's kind of like it's on each realm.
And so because you pretty much are serving as a duality and you taking care of all the business when it comes to the ideas and the gifts that God has for you, how do you tap into that? How do there are a lot of people out here that they don't know what they want to be. They don't know, they don't have any purpose. They're trying to find their gifts, and here you are, you got about 4, 5 of them. Tell Tell me, what are some words of encouragement that you want to give to my viewers and let them know to find their purpose and to find their gift, especially in this time frame that we're living in right now.
Now, the best advice I can give, if you're doing something and you feel good doing it, pursue it. No matter who may tell you're not good at it or who not support you. Because you can share a video and you can get 5 likes, but you got 2,000 views. So them 2,000 views are still going to add up.
Yeah. Now, D Hobbs, what are some of your influences and the people that you follow that give you that drive and that influence and they motivate you to keep going?
Oh, my favorite comedians absolutely is Dave Chappelle and Eddie Murphy. My favorite actor, I would have to say, is Leonardo DiCaprio. So I like to study them in their aspects.
Okay. Okay. Now, D Hobbs, you have some major influences, and who influences you within the city of Detroit? And I know you mentioned earlier Coco the comedian, but who else are you looking to work with and partner that influences you throughout the city of Detroit?
Let's see, Coleman Young Jr. I definitely would like to work with him because I would love to know more about his father because I'm actually interested in writing a biopic about him. As well as with music artists, of course, Big Sean, Eminem is always my favorite artist. KDZ, Stretch Money, Big Hurt, a lot of local artists as well.
Okay. Now, D Hobbs, what do you want to see for the future of Highland Park, the future of Detroit? What are you looking forward to seeing when it comes to your field and your industry?
To basically bring attention back to our city. It's so much negative look on our city as far as corruption and what the past president have said. Keyword past president. I just want to bring positivity and a good look on our city because there's so many talented artists here in our city. Whether you do music or acting, that gets overlooked a lot, and I don't feel like that's fair at all.
So, D Hobbs, you have definitely been influential in the city. You definitely want to see some great things happen in the future. What has the community of Highland Park and Detroit given to you, and how have you given back to the city of Highland Park and Detroit?
They have given me so much love and support. And they came out to events, their videos, food drive that I did with uh, the Dave Choice Awards. I forgot that for a second. In Highland Park, they just come out and support everything I do, and I just love that for my city because you got to get love in your city first, so you can get love outside your city.
Yeah, that is for sure. And speaking of love within your city, we have faced a very, very big hardship, not only in the city of Detroit, not only in the state of Michigan, but across the world with dealing with COVID-19. And I know that you are such a comedian and so full of life and such positive energy. But how have you been affected by the pandemic and COVID-19?
Unfortunately, I lost loved ones during the pandemic. That's always rough. Luckily, I was still able to keep my job, so that's a good thing. And the only benefit to the pandemic, it actually got me an opportunity to sit down and actually focus on what I need to do as far as my career. So I was able to put out more music, more sketches, make more connections. So that's the only positive thing that came out of this pandemic.
Yeah, I definitely understand, because I lost both of my grandparents. And, I've learned that, life can change. Either way, it could go any kind of way. You just got to be prepared for anything. What were some of the personal things that you learned about yourself during this time?
I realized I'm stronger than I give myself credit for. Well, I realized that my faith in God is a lot stronger as well.
Wow. You know what? Definitely our faith has truly been tested. And I want to test you right now because every guest on my show, they play a little game. It's called the survival kit.
Oh, let's play this game. I'm down.
Okay. So you ready, right? Okay, cool. Now listen, D Hobbs, I'm going to name you 3 items. You're going to use them, lose them, and give one away, okay? I'm going to name those 3 items. You're going to lose one, use one, and give one away. First one, plastic bag, dishwashing liquid, skillet. Use one, lose one, give one away. Plastic bag, dishwashing liquid, skillet.
I'm gonna keep the skillet because I'm big. I like to eat.
Yes.
I'm gonna give away the bag,
Okay.
and I'm gonna throw away the dishwashing liquid.
All right. Second round. You're gonna use one, lose one, and give one away. Paper towel, a roll of paper towel, earrings, Pop-Tart. Paper towel, earrings, Pop-Tart.
Okay, well, I'm gonna keep the Pop-Tarts. Once again, I'm greedy. I'll rock earrings, so I'm definitely gonna give it to a young lady. And I'm gonna throw away. What was the third option?
Paper towel.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw away the paper towel because with a Pop-Tart, I can just lick my fingers.
Okay. Got it. All right, last round. You're gonna use one, lose one, and give one away. Fan, notebook, mirror. Fan, notebook, mirror.
Okay. I'm going to keep the notebook because that's where I keep all my material in. I'm going to give away the fan, and I'm going to throw away the third option. What's the third option again?
Mirror.
Mirror. I'm going to throw away the mirror.
All right, Bet. Thank you so much for playing the survival kit, D Hobbs. And now, D Hobbs, dealing with surviving and all the things that we have coming up, what do you want people to remember you for, D Hobbs? When they think about Darren Powers and they think about the legacy that you are leaving, what do you want people to remember you for?
I want people to remember me by keeping them laughing, keeping them informed with up-to-date information, especially around the city. With my label, with my business partners, Pillar Boy Productions. Shout out to Cinda Joker as well as B. Julian and my co-host AV with Culture Shock and Hobbs and AV. I just want to be remembered as someone who actually put passion to his work and believe in his work.
Beautiful. That is amazing. Now, D Hobbs, you have the new TV series coming up. You got some new music dropping. It just dropped. And you have some amazing events that you're going to be hosting. How can people follow you, find you, support you, and know what you got going on?
Okay, well, you can look for Culture Shock with Hobbs and AV on all streaming platforms, as well as you can look for my music on all streaming platforms. D Hobbs, and the music is called D Girl as well as Satisfied. I think the ladies gonna love both of them songs. You can follow my Instagram Hobbs725 as well as my Twitter is the same, and my Facebook is D Hobb Powers.
Now, the two songs that you have out, D Girl, okay, because you know I'm a D Girl, and it's featuring my homegirl Ari Lane. First of all, we didn't even really dive into that. Tell me, what was it like working with Ari Lane? Because you already know she's a fire spitter, okay? And what was that like being back in the studio? Like, you was in the studio. What was that like?
It felt so good to be back in the studio because, to be honest, I haven't wrote music in about 4 years because I've been focused on everything else. And for Ari Lane to come and bless the track and for the track to take off the way it did, it's just been truly a blessing. I thank her so much for writing the vocals on that track.
Wow. So what made you have Ari Lane in mind as the vocal behind the song? Because I told you in the text message I want to be in the video. I got to be in the video.
The video, I promise you that.
Now tell me, like, what made you say, okay, I want Ari Lane to be on the track? And when you were in the studio, what did that feel like? Did you have memories? Did it give you tingles? Like, tell me all about it.
Well, I've always been a big fan of her poetry, and as well as other events she does. So when I got the chance to speak to her, she told me she was a singer. I said, "You got to prove it." Started dropping vocals, and it just blew my mind away. I said, "Hey, I got a perfect song for us. Take a listen to this." And within 2 days, was in the studio making history.
Wow. So here it is, haven't wrote music, been in the studio for about, well, you were writing music, but haven't been in the studio for about 4 years. And then now you are with Ari Lane. Now you were hosting an event with her, and now you're dropping music with her. That is amazing.
God works in mysterious ways, yeah.
Listen, you ain't never lied about it. So you are dropping the album and you drop the music. And so now, when does the TV series come out and how should we support it, find it, and all that great stuff?
Well, we pick up back production in February. Be out by the summer. You can check your streaming networks as Amazon Prime. It will be on there as well. And once again, it's called Indictive. So make sure y'all check that out.
Okay. And then for your hosting events, do you have any events that you're going to be hosting? I know we're getting ready and prep for Juneteenth Jubilee, as we do each and every year for the last 2 years. We have been hosting. Outside of that, what else are you looking forward to people supporting for you hosting?
Well, I'm actually judging and performing the R&B Clash of Champions event on Valentine's Day.
What? Wait, no, hold on. Wait a minute. What is that?
Yeah, it's called the R&B Clash of Champions. Shout out to Kim Brass for putting it together. It's a talent showcase where all R&B artists will be able to come there and perform. And I was already a judge, and I'm giving the winner an interview on my show. But the coordinator of the event asked me, "Can you please come do D Girl and Satisfied since you are hosting it?" So I couldn't help it. I got to do them songs.
That's beautiful. Listen, I want to make sure that I'm there to definitely support you, and make sure that we get all of our viewers to get out there and support you, for all of the great things that you're doing. Now, listen, I'm super excited and grateful that you were a guest on the show with me today, D Hobbs. I know that you are out here doing some really great things. I do want to ask you this one question. Knowing the temperament of our country and all the things that are going on within society, and you being a young black king, what are your thoughts as it relates to our country and dealing with racism? Because yeah, you funny and you laugh and you joke, and that's the funny side, but then it's a serious side of you, D Hobbs. Tell me, what are your thoughts on what's going on as it relates to our country?
Well, I think things are starting to move in the right direction once we got the other guy out of office. But it's as a black man, I'll be perfectly honest, I still wake up in fear every day because you never know what this world may hold for you as a black man. So one thing I do is keep my head up and keep my faith in God and just pray for the best.
Now, you mentioned you wake up every day and have fear. And I'm sure that hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of other black men also wake up in that fear. What do you think, as a black man that wakes up feeling that way, what do you think we can do as a country to subside that fear for black men? Because I'm raising a young black son, and I'm sure he's going to feel that way as well. What would you give as a man, as a black man, some solutions to these problems?
Just hope, and we got to stick together because it's clear the world is against us since we was born as black men. So one thing is strength in numbers. So as long as we all stick together and believe in the same beliefs, I feel like we can actually get a lot further than we are now.
Beautiful. Well, you know what, Darren, I definitely hope that society is listening, and the people that are watching that can make those necessary changes actually make those changes, because, you know, one of the things that I truly believe is that change starts with you. You got to start with you, and then it works on its way on out. Listen, D Hobbs, I want to thank you for being a guest on the show with me today. Listen, that was the power of a conversation, and we're going to make sure that we put you on the map, D Hobbs, and support everything that you are doing.
Thank you so much. And once again, Jaja, thank you so much for having me. And I'm looking forward to tearing the stage down with you June 10th.
Absolutely. Listen, guys, it's your girl, Jaja, and you are watching Uncommon Conversations. Listen, I hope you enjoyed today's guest, Darren Hobbs. D Powers in the building. We got to make sure that we are supporting him in all of his endeavors. And I want to hear from you. You can find me on my social media platforms at Jaja C. Hubbard. Listen, or you can click us on the link at www.jajachhubbard.com. And if you want to write to me, send me some products, or you just want to say, hey, Ja, what's going on with you? I want to hear from you. Write to us at P.O. Box 27866, Detroit, Michigan 48227. I look forward to hearing from you soon, and that was the power of a conversation. Until next week, I see you later. Peace.
I wanna sex you up, and I'm doing everything about you thus far. That pretty smile, them big thighs, hypnotizing, I can't lie. Admiring you from head to toe, yeah, you got curves like how to drive. What's your fantasy, what you wanna try? In the girls, are you kinda shy? I can hold you down like gravity if you can prove to me that you a ride or die. And I put that on my zodiac, Leo to be exact. I need a queen, I have my back. When the time comes, no questions asked.